What's going on, Doozers, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 9 on the Shadowtopia server. We are over at the perimeter, and guys, it's been great. I've been AFKing this. I AFK'd it for a few hours last night, and I am one AFK'd it overnight a couple days ago, and check it out. Look at this. This is an absolutely ridiculous amount. Keep in mind that these stacks, it's four stacks. Yeah. Absolute ridiculous amounts of stuff in these chests. And we've also used it as a looting farm. So we've also got a couple of these, got potions of fire resistance, health, etc. The different potions you get by different damages that the witches take. So we may actually make an adjustment to this farm that allows us to apply different damages to the witches just to get extra potions. So we were talking about some of the different farms that we're going to be putting in this area. And one of those farms that we've been thinking about is a raid farm. And, you know, I've been kind of pushing off the raid farm, but it's getting more and more necessary to do it because you see all this glass we've placed? This is an absolute crazy amount of glass. We have flattened a desert, and White Top has been trading with villagers to get glass from the librarians. Well, she's at like a level 150 something right now just from getting glass. So the way she's getting the glass is by going to our farms, grabbing pumpkin melons, going to farmers, trading the pumpkins and melons, get emeralds, going to the you get what I'm saying? There's a better way to get emeralds. There's a quicker way. There's a much more interesting and fun way. And I think that way is what we're going to do today. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to tear out all of these world eaters the rest of the way, because there can't be any spawnable locations where we build this. Then we're going to put this raid farm that we're going to make right above the... Sorry, I've got the hiccups. We're going to put the raid farm directly above this witch farm. And there's a reason for that. You see, the raid farm, we got to control where the raid can spawn. And this is the best area to do it. The witch farm is in the dead center of the area, meaning that I know for a fact that nothing can spawn anywhere near the witch farm. If we put the raid farm above the witch farm, the raid farm's spawn proof. Yeah, it's spawn proof. So we can put the raid farm above the witch farm and be able to get all their drops the way we want, and at the same time not have to spawn proof anything else. That's why. But of course, in order to get the raid farm made, there's a couple of things we need, and they're villagers. We're gonna need some villagers over here. So my first mission is to find some villagers and figure out how I'm going to get them from wherever they are over to here. Now the good thing is I have a portal right here, so really all it comes down to is how do I get the villagers over to this portal? Once we've got them in this area, then I can lock them into a tiny little box and build the raid farm, put the villagers where I need them. So let me go get some villagers and let's try to figure out how we're going to get them moved over here. So if anybody ever wondered how we move villagers across the nether ceiling, this is it. It's all done by boat. This is why we have Doodle.
Boats are OP.
Alright, so we have been grinding out, getting all the resources. So if I come over here, I go to this. Now, again, this is Rayworks Raid Farm. And I come into the material list. I do have all the glass, but I only use white stained glass when I'm making these, so that's why that looks wrong. But as you can see, I have everything that I need to make this farm. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to build it, and we're going to build it on top of the witch farm. Now, typically you want to put this farm at about y equals 63, but because we're going to be building this on top of the witch farm, we're actually going to be building this at y72. So it's a little bit higher, but it shouldn't affect anything. So as you can see, we have a schematic done up just to get an idea of where everything's going to be sitting. So now it's time to actually start laying down the blocks, and I'm going to go ahead and do this in a replay. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Declan. All right, well, the raid farm is done. That's right, we finished it. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. And I'm standing behind the collection system. So what we did is, if you look up there, instead of just using a double chest like we normally do, like the last 2 seasons, we've done just a bunch of chests up on the side. This time what I did is I made a glass tube that brings the items all the way over and drops them down into this storage unit. Now, it is set up so that it can be filtered, like everything could get filtered into the system. But this farm drops, if I remember correctly, 267 unique items. That's a lot of storage, and I'm not going to do it. So what I did is I have emeralds sorted out over here. So the first chest, this first set of chests is only going to handle emeralds. Now, I ran this farm for maybe 10 minutes last night, if that. And look at this. Look at this. I mean, we've got crossbows, saddles, we've got heads, we've got totems of undying, we've got axes. I mean, we got a whole bunch of stuff that most of it's gonna end up in the junk. But we got a whole bunch of stuff. And that is exactly what I was hoping this would do, is mostly get us the emeralds, mostly get us totems of undying. Everything else is just gravy. But more importantly is that between this farm and this farm, we have a whole bunch of loot now that we can use. Now, I know a lot of you are probably sitting there going, wait a minute, 267 unique items out of a raid farm. That doesn't sound right. How could that be? Well, it's that way because this farm also takes advantage. This farm also takes advantage of Hero of the Village, meaning that what we can do is, as we breed up some more baby villagers, let's get up here quick. Oh, no. Let's try to land properly, huh? Go, come on. I missed again. I am not pro this morning. This is too early in the morning, that's the problem. Alright, there we go. So, the way this farm works is, as we are operating it, we can also have a bunch of villagers stuck in here, and all of their drops will go into these chests below me. Now, I need to hook these chests up to the item distribution network so that we can get them going into the item stream. And that's honestly as easy as just using a couple of hoppers. But what we can do is we can put different villager profession types in here. And what they will do is when we come up, we'll get the Hero of the Village. And with Hero of the Village, we'll be able to get different loot. So they'll throw all their gear at us in, like, you know, books or axes, stone, all that other fun stuff. Now, we still have a little bit more work to do over with the glass. That's something I'd like to get finished up this episode if possible, especially now that we have access to a lot of emeralds through this farm. We also need to figure out a way to have a constant supply of Bad Omen available to us. And IM1 was on a mission earlier. He found a couple of pillager outposts. So what we're thinking about doing is setting up a rail line that goes from the pillager outpost all the way over to here, and we can make a pen and put in all the banner villagers over here with name tags. Name tags to take them out of the mob cap, and also to prevent them from despawning. But more importantly, by having all the bannermen over here, it's a real easy thing. You know, come up, it's time to run the farm. You wander up to a banner guy, you go whack, then he dies, and then you fly up there and you run the farm. And then whenever we're running low, we just, you know, go get more banners. So that's our next step, is we've got to figure out how we're going to get the banner villager guys over here, where we're getting them from, lay down a whole bunch of rail track. We have to get some villagers up top for the Hero of the Village. And then we got to start figuring out exactly what other farms are going to go in this monstrosity of a hole we made, because we got tons of room, and it's a shame just to use it for, you know, 2 farms. So let me get to work on that. I'm going to get in touch, I hope, with IM1 and Doodle Moose. IM1 to help me get over to where the pillager outpost is, and Doodle Moose because she's our resident mobile mob extraordinaire. She knows all kinds of weird stuff with how boats work, how mine tracks work, how to get things from point A to point B easily. So we're definitely going to be putting her knowledge to the test here. So let me go do that, and we will be right back. All right, so we found a nice area for a not a slime farm, for a squid farm. And we started building it a little bit in the background. I got JT back here. He's AFKing the witch farm. I'm not sure what he's after, but I'm not going to complain either. It looks like he's doing... Oh. Yeah, he's definitely been putting in some work. So with the squid farm, the way it's going to work is the squids won't spawn below Y46, and they won't spawn above Y62. So the glass platform up there is at Y62. This dirt platform here is at Y46. And then I've got a marker here at the bottom down at, Y0, because why not? Get it? So the way we're going to be working is we're going to be putting a whole bunch of water streams. So each one of those little holes is going to be a water stream. And below, we're going to be putting a whole bunch of fence gates. And that's actually what I have to go do now, is I have to make a bunch of fence gates. And then for an item collection system, I think we're going to be going with just a basic trained minecart style hopper system. So let me go get the materials. All right, so we put in our trapdoors, and it really is just this easy. We have the trapdoors put in up there now, and they're... Get up here so you can see a little bit better, maybe. They're staggered, so if you look down, there's two levels. There's a lower level, which is where these holes are, and a higher level, which are where these are. So if you were actually down there, what you would see would be like this, okay? So now that those are in, what we need to do is we need to actually get the water in up here. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 water buckets worth of water. So we're going to go grab those water buckets real quick. We're going to get the water in. And at that point, the squid farm itself is done. The only thing that's going to be left after that is installing a collection system for the squid. And really, that's not going to be too hard. So let's get this squared away, and we'll be right back. Now we have the water in, and it really is just as easy as dumping a water bucket in each one of those glass holes that we made. And as you can see, what it does is it actually creates this pattern. We get right underneath of it and look up. You can see that the water is flowing straight down. Now, squid can spawn in any form of water, pending that it is, actually water and within those confines of the bounding boxes that they need. So above 46 and below 63. So now that we have that, that should be able to start spawning squid. Now, the other object is to get rid of all water within 128 blocks. Now, while that would normally be an issue, since we have this in our perimeter, it means that if we stand right here, there is no water within 128 blocks of us, making that the only valid spawning location for the squid in this entire area. So now that we have that set and dusted, what we need to do is actually create our collection system. And the collection system that we're going to be using is just a box standard minecart collection system. And what we're going to do, because we need this to be spawn proof, we're going to use glass for the top. And then what we're going to do is underneath that, we are going to run our actual mine track to collect all of the drops. So we're going to need some mine carts. We're also going to need some redstone blocks to power everything. And we're going to need hoppers, chests, comparators, some torches, some dust, and some, where's my repeaters? Some repeaters. So let's get over there. We'll build this out real quick, and then I'll show you exactly how it is that we... And we're done. A simple farm, guys. It's a 5-minute farm, really is. So we have our rail tracks going in. Now, you do have to make sure you have solid blocks at either end of this. That way, the minecart has something to hit and return on. Over here, it's a simple unloader system for a minecart. So there's a comparator that faces out of the hopper. It's comparing the hopper. Goes into a solid block with a redstone torch, which powers this redstone block into this repeater, into this block, which in turn powers a powered line up there. Now, when something falls in, when there's something in the minecart, this detects it. And we're actually going to go ahead and see that right now because we got some squid landing. So it's going to come through, it's going to pick up the ink sacks, it'll hit, and then when it hits, it's going to drop right into this system, bringing us all of their wonderful drops. So again, a really easy system. We may extend this out just a touch because it doesn't look like that got into it. So we'll have to look into that. But again, really easy system to use, really simple to make, and a great addition to any world, especially if you need a lot of black dye. Well, as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And coming through the tunnels real quick, I can tell that somebody has been putting in some time making these look really nice. I know that Doodle was in here earlier. She was working on, expanding this tunnel out 1 block. And it was actually really funny because after she got done expanding the tunnel out 1 block, she undid this completely and expanded it out 1 block as well. And you really can't tell unless you knew. But this entire section here was taken down and moved over 1 block. But it looks like somebody came through and did the entire tunnel, and it looks fantastic. This looks like the work of Doodle and White Top. It really does. But it looks great. It's really starting to come around. This entire area is starting to look good. We have a temporary place now for Frightened Bunny Friday. And what Frightened Bunny Friday is, if I haven't mentioned it before, is on Fridays, Doodle Moose dresses up like a little rabbit. I don't have one with. And the object is to kill her before she kills herself. So as the rabbit, she'll run around and, jump into cactus or the sweet berries or lava or try to drown herself. Meanwhile, the entire time we as players have to run around and, try to collect her head. And this time what she did is she added these rabbit holes in certain locations, and it allows her now to pop out of the ground and go other places other than just spawn. We had a little bit of an issue where may have been spawn camping her bed. So in any case, we got a few heads. We got a few, like 30. But in any case, guys, as always, I want to thank you for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed the video, consider hitting the subscribe button. Get that bell notification hit. That way you get updated whenever I post a new video. As always, guys, I want to thank you from the bottom and the top of my heart. You're the best. That being said, I'm DiamondDoozer, and I'm out.